Today, I'll be looking at a cautionary case of retirees whose $2 million portfolio failed to provide the security they expected. Over my years advising retirees, I've documented how making certain critical mistakes can undermine even substantial nest eggs, as happened with this couple. That's exactly why I'm making this video, to show you how even $2 million can prove insufficient when specific retirement planning errors are made. To see how this unfolds, let's dive into their story. Let me share the parable of the Carters, a cautionary tale reflecting challenges I've seen retirees face. John and Susan Carter, 65 and 63, retired in 2018 with $2 million saved, having built their nest egg through hard work and careful investing, epitomizing what financial media often refers to as the retirement millionaire milestone. They felt confident following conventional wisdom, leveraging the 4% safe withdrawal rate to fulfill their vision, such as Linda strolling through Paris streets and John teeing off at famous golf courses. With savings and Social Security, they saw retirement as a long, scenic road trip, and they were ready to join the ride until reality took the wheel. Almost immediately, unexpected financial twists blindsided them. Without guidance beyond basic accumulation strategies, they now face serious doubts about their retirement sustainability. The Carter story is a stark reminder that reaching a big number is just the starting line. If you're not prepared for traps ahead, your retirement roadmap can fade into a mirage. So how did their journey veer so far off course? The Carters' downfall wasn't just their spending, it was their belief that $2 million guaranteed security. Their plan lacked safeguards for the unexpected, such as tax surprises, family needs, health expenses, and market volatility, eventually knocking them off track. These planning gaps didn't just strain their finances, they rewrote their retirement story. Fast forward to 2025, and the Carters felt they needed professional help after 7 years of navigating it on their own. And by then, their once secure nest egg felt more like a stalled car on a deserted back road. Their golden years, meant for exploring the seven wonders of the world or golfing at St. Andrews, became a time of fear. They canceled dream trips, FaceTime grandkids instead of visiting, and lived with the constant dread of unexpected expenses, like crossing their fingers every winter that the furnace wouldn't go out. By 2025, their $2 million portfolio had dwindled down to just $560,000, leaving them facing the harsh reality of running out of money in less than a decade. Now, before we move on, if you have any questions on whether you're on track for your retirement, if you can afford it, then click the link in the description below where you'll be able to book a call with me to speak through this and more. Now that their retirement's veered off course, let's uncover questions that might have revealed their risks and reveal yours as well. First, what expenses might derail your retirement plan? The Carters didn't ask this, and it cost them dearly. They started retirement with a bang by splurging on a luxury car, an extended family cruise that they paid for everybody to go on, and dental implants. Over time, a cascade of costs, such as mortgage payoffs, family loans, and health emergencies, added up to over $875,000. None felt reckless alone, but together they crushed their plan. Like the Carters learned, retirement brings surprises, splurges, and shocks that don't really neatly fit into spreadsheets. And planning for both can help soften the blow when you tap into your portfolio at tough moments. Next, how will your portfolio respond during a market decline? Beyond spending, the Carters' investments faltered too. They entered retirement with an 80% stock portfolio, thinking, hey, why change what made us wealthy in the first place? But that strategy suited saving, not spending, leaving them exposed. And when the market dropped by 18% in 2022, they panic sold, locking in $262,000 of losses and then missing out on another $160,000 of gains over 2023 as the market recovered and they sat on the sidelines. And can you blame them? Without a balanced plan, stable investments for withdrawals now and growth for ones later, most would falter as well. We use the buckets framework to avoid this for our clients. And the highlight of my week last week was when, during one of the most volatile times of the stock market in years, a client shared with me how he was excited to check off a bucket list item and booked a trip to the Isle of Man motorcycle race to go with his son and 4 grandsons, because he knew that his plan was prepared for times like this. Next question is, what withdrawal rate will you use, and will it hold up? For the Carters, their spending pace was spiraling. Although they started with a 4% safe withdrawal rate, $80,000 a year from their $2 million portfolio, their spending rose and investing mistakes compounded to take effect, making their withdrawal rate actually 19% by 2025. And at this rate, they'll run out of funds by her age 78. They assumed that this 4% was advertised as a safe withdrawal rate and going over the lines wouldn't hurt too much. But what they failed to realize is that their formidable nest egg wasn't without limits. and they never ran the numbers to see just how far off track they drifted. And unless you intend to spend the exact same amount of money every single month in retirement, your withdrawal rate is far more than a static formula. It's a decision that needs context, such as varied levels of spending in different phases of retirement. The next question I ask is, have you accounted for sequence of returns risk? The Carters didn't even know this risk existed, and many don't. Sequence of returns risk means simply that early and consecutive market dips can cripple your portfolio, especially if you're withdrawing funds inappropriately. And that's exactly what happened to them. Their aggressive allocation left them vulnerable when the market declined. And by taking large withdrawals during a downturn, it's like knocking the wind out of your portfolio when it's already gasping for air. And this is where, again, the bucket system we use helps ride out volatility without making emotionally charged or irreversible moves. Next question is, how will your actual spending compare to your projections? One of the biggest shifts in retirement is realizing that your income faucet changes. When you're working, your paycheck always shows up to help refill that bucket. And in retirement, the Carters' 7-figure portfolio felt more like an endless well, and making it really easy and reasonable to take large withdrawals without thinking twice. I like to joke with clients that if you hand me a family-sized bag of Doritos at a backyard barbecue, I'm probably going to eat more than I should. But if you hand me a simple bowl, I'll pace myself. And it's the same thing with many retirees and their life savings. That's why one of the first things I look at in retirement planning is to map out what expenses will go away, like saving for retirement, but also what may increase, like travel or family support. And from there, design an income stream to provide the right size bowl to draw from. A little structure goes a long way to help keep your plan sustainable. Next question is, what family and healthcare costs might catch you off guard? Linda's mother needed long-term care starting in 2021. With no family nearby, they stepped in, covering $123,000 over 3 years. Around the same time, they loaned $50,000 to their child to help with a down payment, which never got repaid. Like many people retiring today, they're part of the sandwich generation, caught between aging parents and adult children, often feeling emotionally and financially pulled from both directions. If you're in your 50s or early 60s, it's worth asking, who are the family members most likely to lean on you financially? Next question is, could taxes take a bigger bite than you expect? On the surface, the Carters' decision to pay off their mortgage in 2019 made plenty of sense. After all, how could you shoot down finally becoming debt-free? With no more monthly payments and years of interest savings ahead, it seems like a smart, responsible move. But to make it happen, they pulled a large sum from their pre-tax IRA, triggering $157,000 in taxes that year alone. They didn't realize how quickly that single decision would inflate their income and push them into a much higher tax bracket. It's not that they made a reckless move, it's just that they didn't have a plan for how to do it. Before making any large withdrawals, especially from a pre-tax account, it's worth asking, what will this cost me in taxes? Next, are you prepared for inflation? And this is where it really starts to hurt. The Carters originally planned to withdraw around $80,000 per year, but by 2025, that same lifestyle required over $100,000. We often talk about compounding growth as a positive force with our investments, but inflation compounds too, and it works against us. While wages often rise with inflation during working years, Social Security adjustments in retirement don't do enough to keep up. And even safe investments like cash and CDs lose value over time, in fact, guaranteeing that they'll lose real value year after year. And you know better than me that taking just a friend out to the movies nowadays costs as much as it did to take the whole family out back in the day. It's how inflation works and compounds against you. So we need a plan for tomorrow's costs, not just today. And finally, we need to ask ourselves, what's your plan if things go off track? Imagine retiring with $2 million, feeling like you finally made it, only to watch your dreams start to slip away. And that's what the Carters faced. They were like so many retirees, excited for a new chapter, but life had other ideas. The Carter story isn't unique, and that's why it matters. It wasn't a single big mistake that threw them off. It was everyday choices that seemed fine at the time. A vacation here, helping a family member there, a health scare to manage. After all, these moments are part of life. Don't forget that retirement is often a 20 to 30-year journey, more like a marathon than a sprint. And like a long flight, a slight misstep unnoticed can veer you miles off target, even in the best equipped plane. And these regular adjustments are what ensure a safe landing. And here's the good news. Because you're watching this video, now you know how even substantial wealth can be vulnerable without proper planning. And you can take steps to better protect your own retirement savings. If you want me to analyze your retirement strategy and help you avoid the pitfalls that threaten even substantial savings, click the link in the description and book a complimentary call with me. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.